Okay. Everyone, please say 3 times loudly. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Very good evening to everyone. The good happened. So today too, as usual, we are going to start our Friday meditation session. Before we begin, let me do the same wish. May this session also help you to develop in your spiritual practice at least a little bit further. And at the same time, I sincerely wish may you be able to develop at least little inner peace and inner happiness with it. With that wish, let's start today's session. So, dear Dhamma friends, now we are so the old students. So they have begun to practice vipassana meditation, and you are ardently practicing, and it is important. Right. So, Mosi, right? Samicha. Right. So, then it is very important. So, prolong the vipassana meditation practice up to 10-15 minutes. Right. So, please do like this. So, take 5 minutes and practice breathing meditation. And then after that, please practice vipassana meditation for about 10 to 15 minutes. And after that, so take 2-3 minutes to practice loving kindness meditation, right? So that's how we need to. Do as vipassana meditators. So that's for the old students. But there are several new students, so they'll be kindly requested to practice the first step of breathing meditation. So when it comes to the first step of breathing meditation, this is what you need to do. So please pay your entire attention to the breath, which is coming in and going out. When the breath is coming in, please be fully aware, right? So when the breath is going out, please be fully aware. So don't go with the breath all the way in. Stop your observation at the end of your nostrils, right? So that's not a place that you can see. That's a place that we need to notice by our own experience, meditation experience, right? So when the breath goes in, observe its movement. So in the incoming breath up to that point, and let the breath go inside, right? Then after that, when the breath comes out again, so stay patiently until this comes and touches. Outgoing breath comes and touches. So that ending part of your nostril, right? Starting from that point, please keep on observing the outgoing breath, okay, right? Then when the breath is coming in, please be aware. When the breath is going out, please be aware. So give your entire attention and work hard, right? Give your entire attention and work hard. And try to maintain, try to maintain the constant awareness with the breath as long as possible, right? The mind might wander away, but don't feel disheartened. So once again, diligently bring your attention back and start your meditation again, right? Without feeling frustrated. Then, so last week, one student asked, when that student was practicing so ardently, and at that time the concentration was good too, but she started feeling sleepy, right? Then she said that, she even didn't know throughout the time after that small concentration period, so she fell asleep. So why is that? So yes, there is a reason, because generally our mind calms down when we are sleeping, right? So, when you are practicing diligently, right, you will reach such kind of similar kind of states too, right? But with awareness, then your body feels so much comfortable, and then it thinks this is the time to sleep. So automatically you fall into sleep. So that's one reason. The other one is sometimes so certain people try ardently, but they cannot so concentrate at all. Then they feel tired and they fall asleep too. Therefore, the most important thing is maintaining the awareness constantly, right? Maintaining the awareness constantly from moment to moment. So don't worry about the moment which is gone, right? So don't worry about the moment which is to come. Just give your entire attention to this very moment, right now, right? And give you everything and keep practicing, right? And meanwhile, so please be aware about your back, right? Keep it straight and keep on being aware about your back, right? And if the posture changes, notice it, and then after that, so so redo your posture, and then start again, right? So that's something that you need to keep in mind when you practice meditation, right? If not, I always mention, finally, breathing or vipassana meditation will change into sleeping meditation, right? So therefore, so we have to be careful about our posture and then the experiences, right? Then now we are practicing vipassana meditation, and the first step of vipassana meditation. While practicing vipassana meditation, so there are certain techniques that we need to learn. Uh, when it comes to the vipassana practice, uh, so of about our feelings, right? Thoughts. So I will teach you 5 methods. Right? I will teach you 5 methods. If you want, you can write these 5 down. So to control, to control and to control your negative emotions, right? So let's suppose a thought of anger, right? A thought of so anxiety, or thought of jealousy, thought of any other negativity, right? So arises inside your mind. And at that time, so the very first thing that you need to do is, so whenever you recognize that it's a negative thought, right, then try to replace it with a wholesome good thought, which won't arouse your negativities, instead which so develops your, so which maintains and develops your inner calmness, right? So for an example, so uh, so against a thought of anger, try to develop a thought of loving kindness. Against the thought of lust, so develop a thought of purity, right? Against the thought of so jealousy, try to develop a thought of sympathetic joy. Sympathetic joy means so the ability to be happy when the other people become successful, right? So develop such kind of thought, right? Then by that way, so you can get rid of that negative thought, right? If you recognize that negative thought when it is in its baby level, right? So I mean at the premium level, by doing this, you can easily get rid of that negative thought, right? So replace the thought, the negative thought, with the wholesome one. That's number one. Then number two, so you try that, but you realize the thought that you have, negative thought that you have right now, it is more powerful than that. Even though you try to think about something positive or wholesome, it doesn't go away. At that time, so you should go to the second exercise, second step. So second one is reflect the danger of the thought. Right? Reflect the danger of the thought. For an example, so you have a thought of anger. You have a thought of anger. So if you let it stay, what will happen is it will gradually grow, and finally it can anger, a thought of anger can turn into a thought of hatred, and that thought of hatred can lead to a very bad situation that you cannot reverse, right? Finally, it might end up in regret, right? Suffering and unhappiness, and throughout the rest of your life. So therefore, the second thing that you need to do is, reflect the danger of the thought, and whenever you reflect the danger of that negative thought, so its power goes down, its power decreases, and then finally it'll go, right? Then, right, it is just like this. Buddha gives an example. So there is someone who is well baked and well centered, right? So that person has taken a good bath, and after that, now that person has applied perfume all around the body. Let's suppose so that's the favorite perfume of that person. Then there is someone who has a dead stinky uh, snake. This person brings this dead stinky snake and so throws it over that person, right? That person who had a good bath and who has scented, right? Who has so put perfume all around that person's body. Will that person like it? That person won't like it. Right away, that person will throw that away, right? So just like that, whenever you think about the consequences of that negative thought, its power goes down and then it'll go, right? So that's number two. Then number three, you try the first step, but it doesn't work. You try the second step, it doesn't also work. That thought of that negative thought stays, right? Intimidating you and dragging you towards it. Recognizing that, so third step that you need to do is ignore and forget the thought, right? You have to ignore and forget the thought, right? How do you ignore and forget the thought, right? If if the thought arose, let's say you are in the kitchen, the thought arose when you are in the kitchen. So move your place, go somewhere else, and engage in another activity so that you can engage in, right? So ignore that thought. Think, I will think of it later on, right? Right now, I don't want to think about it, right? So like that, ignore and forget the thought. So withdraw the attention from it. So this is just like this, according to Buddha. So you see a scary scene, right? So we watch horror films, right? I don't know. This happens when you are old, but when you are young, when you see a very difficult horror scene, what the children do is so they close their eyes with their both hands because they don't want to see that, right? Because it's scary. So just like that, so just like a person who avoids scary sights with one's own both hands, right? So we have to divert our attention to do something else. and we should try to ignore so that tendency of you, so which tempts you to think about that negative thought, right? That's number 3. So number 4, examine. Let's suppose all those 3 things are so doesn't work. Still, that negative thought is working on play. Then you have to do this. Examine and calm the thought process. Examine and calm down the thought process. Right? That's number 4. So, so how to examine and calm down the thought process, right? So, when then, so since your attention is so much dominant on that thought, so so go back to the source of that thought. So I mean, so let's say you have an angry thought, right? So it doesn't originate so from out of nowhere, right? So it should have a source. It should have a cause. Go back to the cause and try to see it with another perspective, right? For an example, your coworker said something. So then throughout the day, you are so much so agitated, angry about that, right? So you think about that again and again, and now the anger grows so continuously. Then at that time, so please go back to the very incident where all these things began, and think it with another perspective. Think, oh, maybe he might have been frustrated because of something at home, right? Or something might have been bothering him. He might have not uh, so planned to say like that, but accidentally it happened. But he couldn't take it back. So why should I worry again and again? So like that, you have to change your perspective about this the so course incident, right? Where everything began, right? On the course. And change the way how you perceive. And then so if then at the same time, how you slow down your your thinking pattern. So tell yourself, I should not think about it this fast. So let me think about it slowly, right? So let me think about it slowly. So saying so start instead of thinking it so fast, and telling yourself that if I think about it this much so fast, it is going to it is going to harm me, and I cannot bear that. I'm in tension, so therefore let me think about it slowly. Right? So when you do like that, then uh, the tendency so gradually slows down, and finally, so it will pass. Right? So it is just like this. Buddha compares it to a person who walks faster. Right? This person runs and then thinks, "Oh, why should I run this fast? I have time. Let me walk. Right? Let me walk fast." And then this person begins to walk fast, and then after that, this person thinks, "I have more time. So why should I walk this fast? I should slow down." Right? Then this person slows down and walks slowly. And while walking slowly, this person thinks, I have more time. So why don't I sit somewhere and relax for a moment? Right? Then this person so sits somewhere and relaxes for a moment. And then this person thinks, oh, I have more time. So why shouldn't I take a small nap and relax more? Then this person so begins to sleep. right? Just like this. So gradually, we have to slow down the tendency. So that's how you slow down. So the power of a negative thought. Number 5. So you try all those 4 techniques, 4 methods, but still that negative thought is on rise. At that time, what you need to do is so giving your entire strength, understanding that this negative thought is so uh, dangerous and it is bound to harm you if it grows, right? If you act on it, you are going to that will lead you to very unfortunate situations. Understanding that fully, the wise person so 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 folding one's own fingers and tightening one's own teeth. So uh, so one's own teeth. So closing one's own eyes, right? That person should prevent to giving you and so developing the understanding that this thought is bound to pass away sooner or later, right? So we should not give in to that negative temptation, right? Instead, so with the understanding of impermanence, so tightening your fist, tightening your legs, tightening your teeth, so closing your eyes tightly. So we have to keep on observing the thought, right? Keep on observing the thought with the understanding of impermanence until it passes away, right? Until it passes away. This is the 5th step, right? This is the 5th step. So Buddha compares it to a person who to a strong person who keeps a weaker person down, right? So when the strong person pushes uh, pushes a weaker person down at the beginning, that person will so uh, so will try that person's best, right? But but since the because of the strength of the other person, so that person finally will accept the defeat and will let right will let will become calm. So just like that, so giving our entire strength, we should stop. So we should action on those negative thoughts and observe the negative thought as an impermanent thing, a thing which changes, right? So that's how you have to control your emotions as Vipassana meditators, right? So negative emotions, right? Then, so I taught you 5 things, 5 methods. First one is replace the negative thought with a positive one. And second one is reflect on the danger of the thought. Third one is ignore and forget the thought. And fourth one is examine and calm down the thought process. And fifth one is if all those 4 methods won't work, forcefully restrain the mind if necessary, right? So these are the 5 methods. Forcefully restrain the mind if necessary. Okay. So these are the 5 methods, right? Now we are about to start the silent meditation session. So everyone, so if you're done, please keep your books aside. And then please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm and let your whole body to relax. Let your whole body to relax. As usual, first I will pay our sincere respect and gratitude towards Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Buddha means the enlightened one, Dhamma means the teaching about the universal truth, and then Sangha means all the noble monks and nuns and lay people who practice this noble Dhamma practice and attain real peace, real happiness. So let me pay respect to them with 3 small stanzas, and after that, let's begin today's silent meditation. Calm down. Please concentrate. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vinyacharane sampanno sungato lokamido Anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati Sata deva manusanang buddho bhagavati Swakato bhagavata dhammo Sangnitiko akaliko Ehi pasiko opanayiko Machatang veditamo Vinyuhiti Sopanipangno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujumanipangno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyaya patipangno bhagavato savaka sangho Sami cipadipangno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadidang chattari purisa yugani Ate purisa puggala Esa bhagavato savaka sangho Ahudeyo pahuneyo Dakiniyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punyakhetang lokasati. Satu, satu, satu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, peaceful, very equanimous mind. Everyone, please start your silent meditation. If you are a new student, please keep practicing the first step of breathing meditation as I described. The old students, please keep practicing the first step of Vipassana meditation as we learned last week. Keep on observing the sensations that arise on your head area. Start with the top of your head and then observe the front portion of your head, then right ear, then back portion of your head, and finally left ear. Within all those areas, whatever the sensations that arise, observe them objectively and understand these sensations are impermanent, changing. Work diligently. Work diligently so that the understanding can develop, negativities can leave, and the positivities can grow. In such kind of way, please keep on practicing diligently, diligently, consistently, with the perfect understanding of impermanence, anicca. Now, everyone, please start your silent meditation. May your meditation be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Now, if your legs are hurting, you can change your legs. You can change your posture. But please keep your eyes closed. We are going to practice loving kindness meditation in brief. Loving kindness meditation in brief. First of all, please spread your loving kindness towards yourself first. Please think, may I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards yourself first. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards your dear parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Please think, may my dear mother, may my dear father, may my dear teachers, relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards all of them, all of them. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards the neutral people. Neutral people are the people who don't fall into the category of friends as well as to the category of enemies. These are the people who are in the middle. Please spread your loving kindness towards all the neutral people. Neutral people. Please think. May all the neutral people be well. May all the neutral people be happy. May all the neutral people be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please pray your loving kindness towards the neutral people. Neutral people. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards your enemies. Enemies, before you spread your loving kindness towards your enemies, please ask forgiveness for the mistakes that you did towards them. At the same time, please forgive for the mistakes that they have done towards you. After that, please spread your loving kindness towards the enemies. Please think. May my enemies be well. May my enemies be happy. May my enemies be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards the enemies. Enemies. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. Let's think about not only human beings, but also animals, all kinds of animals like fish, birds, reptiles, and all insects, and all kinds of creatures, and all visible and invisible beings. Please think. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards all the beings in the world. All the beings in the world. Bhavatu sampe mangalang rakantu sampe devatang samme buddhanupavini samme dhammanupavini samme sanghanupavini sada sutti mavang tutti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now everyone, please calmly open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax from top to bottom and bottom to top. Now everyone, please join your palms together and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, hope the Vipassana meditators now can feel the sensations, right? So when you observe the body from part by part, sometimes in certain areas, you will encounter the blank areas, right? So sometimes you might feel sensations on the top of your head, but so when you try to observe sensations on the front portion, you might not experience any sensation. At that time, don't feel frustrated. Always stay there. So extra 10 to 20 seconds. Right? Then still if you don't feel any sensation, then at that time what you need to do is, without feeling frustrated, accepting the reality that I don't feel any sensation in this area because my sensitivity, my calmness, right, my patience, it has not grown to a level that I can feel any sensation here. Understanding that reality, please move your attention towards the next part. Right. Then after that, on sometimes on your let's suppose on your right ear too, you don't feel any sensation, no coldness, no heat, No itching sensation, no tingling sensation, no pain, no burning sensation, no softness, hardness, nothing. Then at that time, again, please do the same thing. So keep on observing it for about, so give extra, so 10 to 20 seconds. And if you don't feel any sensation, so understand the reality and remind yourself, this is also going to be impermanent. So next time or later, I'm going to feel sensations in this particular area. Understand that. Move your attention to the next one. Right? So don't let so your frustration to go. Right? This is not a competition. So you are developing through your own observation. Right? You're transforming yourself through your own observation. So therefore, Vipassana students, so please practice ardently and don't feel frustrated. So when you don't encounter, when you couldn't so observe any sensation in such kind of blank areas, they are not actual blank. So there are sensations, but your sensitivity, your calmness, and your patience has not grown to a level that you can feel and observe sensations in those areas. Maybe the sensations which are available in those areas, they are subtler, right? They are very smooth. So that's why you don't feel those sensations. But diligently, please keep on working, right? Now it is the time for your small break. If you want to go to the bathroom or if you want to drink water, so I will give you 3 minutes. If you don't want to, so please remain inside the hall, right? So then after that, for about 20 to 25 to 30 minutes, we are going to learn about the second characteristic of life, right? Okay, then you can take your break right now. Okay. Aunja. Sumicha. All right, that's Sumicha. That's a unique name. Yeah.
How did I ask? But today I feel it here. But not the other parts. Other parts were like completely different. So I was trying to focus. I did all my effort, but I can feel it here.
Right. So at least be happy that you felt sensation up there. Yeah. So then, so keep on observing. So keep on observing the other areas. Then gradually, what will happen is little by little. So little by little, you so your sensitivity will grow, and your patience will grow, right? And then your awareness will grow, right? But don't expect so neither don't expect to see any sensation there at the same time. So you should not I mean so you should so it should be in the middle. Can you understand?
Yeah.
So I neither you expect or you neither you don't expect, right? So if I feel one, that's also fine. If I don't feel one, that's also fine, right? So understanding. So please keep on observing, right? Don't try to break. Don't let your balance of mind to get broken, right? The most important one is the balance of mind. So that's what we should grow, right? You're very welcome. Everyone, please say 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, so every day at the end, so for about 25 to 30 minutes, we learned about some factor which is related to the meditation practice. Nowadays, we are learning about the 3 characteristics of life. Right? So 3 characteristics of life. So last week, we learned about the first characteristic of life. Samuel, what is the first one? Impermanence. Impermanence is the first characteristic of life. Let someone be so American, so Asian, African, or Oceanian, or anybody, or let anyone practice Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, Jainism, Judaism, or Islam, or any religion, or let that person be agnostic or atheist, right? All those beings have these 3 characteristics inside their lives. And they are not limited to human beings. So these characteristics are in the lives of all the beings. Right? First one is impermanence. So today we are going to learn about the second one. Second one is, so in Pali it is called as dukkha. Dukkha means dissatisfaction or suffering. So there are various kinds of translations, but so in the past, many people used this translation suffering. But the word suffering, it cannot give the exact meaning of this word, right? Even the word dissatisfaction, so it can do a better job than the word suffering. But so dukkha is a phenomenon. So we cannot give, and there is no any word so which we can pick to give the exact meaning of the word dukkha, right? But for now, we can use the word dissatisfaction, right? So throughout our lives, we have this nature of dissatisfaction, right? So not only in human lives, in the lives of all beings, right? So they have this nature of dissatisfaction, right? Then once Buddha said, actually I teach about 2 things. So one is, what is dissatisfaction? Second one is, how to come out of dissatisfaction, right? In the old translations, what is suffering, and what is how to come out of all the suffering, right? So then so that's what Buddha teaches. So actually, what is suffering? So suffering, so many people misunderstand, right? So the dissatisfaction that Buddha describes in Four Noble Truths, along with the description of dissatisfaction in the description of 3 characteristics about life, related to life. So here, so when it comes to the noble truths, right? So over there, Buddha teaches. So birth is suffering, and then after that, birth brings dissatisfaction, and then after that, Buddha teaches sickness brings dissatisfaction, and then after that, so decaying, right? Decaying brings dissatisfaction. What is decaying? We gradually age, right? So decaying is dissatisfaction, and death also brings dissatisfaction. Whatever we wish, when it doesn't happen, when something else happens, that also brings dissatisfaction. And then, so your loved ones, so they depart, right? At that time, so you feel dissatisfaction. And then, so you have to associate people or things that you don't like. That also brings dissatisfaction. So all those things, so they are general descriptions about dissatisfaction. So what actually Buddha teaches is about the final thing. In brief, the existence of five aggregates, that's the thing which brings dissatisfaction, right? So dissatisfaction, the best description for dissatisfaction is the the existence of five aggregates, right? So it is a phenomenon, right? So various kinds of so so uh, so there are phenomena in the world, right? They are neither good or bad. They are the truths which are there, and they cannot be considered as good or bad. Can you understand? So dissatisfaction is a nature, which is neither good or bad. It's a phenomenon in the world, right? So so that is constantly inside our minds, right? So whenever you feel happiness and whenever you feel sadness, at all those times you have this dissatisfaction with it, right? Then so why this dissatisfaction has arisen, right? Why we can't embrace the waves? What does it mean? So embracing the waves, right? Embracing the waves means, so let's say you are in the ocean, in the middle of the ocean. If you want to swim through the ocean, you have to understand that so all the time the waves of the ocean, they are not still at all, right? So you have to accept that they are constantly in a process of rolling, right? So then then uh, so standing on that understanding, so you have to adjust how to swim in the ocean, right? if you if you think so the water in the ocean is just, I mean, the way behavior pattern of the ocean in the ocean is just like the behavior pattern of the water in the river, right? You are going to you are not dealing with the reality. Can you understand? Therefore we need to understand the nature of waves. So when if you want to swim in the sea, so we need to understand the nature of behavior pattern of the waves in the sea. So that's how you can adjust yourself to swim in the sea, right? Just like that. So to live in the world, to live in the world, so live in a impermanent world, right? So without letting our negativities to continue, right? We need to understand the behavior pattern of the world, the behavior pattern of the nature, right? So that's what Buddha teach. That's what Buddha teaches here, right? So whenever we don't understand the nature of impermanence, right, we start to think that so we start to think that things are so permanent. Right? We see things as permanent things. Right? For an example, so so um, so let's say there is a flower, right? So so there is a flower, and then so we think that there is an actual flower, but the truth is it is something which has arisen because of so many causes joining together, right? So so uh, so um, so what are the causes which has joined together to create this flower? So according to Buddha, so there are four main elements, right? First one is solid element, liquid element, gas element, and heat element. When these four elements get together, so there rises another four elements simultaneously, not before, not later, at the very same time. What are those four elements that arise simultaneously at the very same time? So, first one is color element, odor element, taste element, and then pulp element. The combination of these eight, so we can call it the atom, right? So the combination of these eight, so is called as, so according to Buddha, so that's called as an attakalapa or an atom, right? So Buddha's description about atom. Buddha describes, so if we take a needle, so so in the nib of that needle, you can find so uncountable number of attakalapas. So at that very point, can you understand? So and then so they are the ones so that so which are inside this rose flower, right? And then those elements have shaped into a particular way that can produce pink color, right? So pink color, right? So pink color in the rose, right? And then similar such kind of atoms constantly rise and pass away. So inside that particular rose flower, but we think so there. So when we cannot see that truth with our naked eyes. So therefore, so we catch that sight as a rose flower. But in the real truth is inside that there is no any actual rose flower. Right? There is a combination of attakalapas, or you can say atoms, right? Which have shaped in a particular way. So and its color elements have shaped into a, so naturally the color so it produces pink color elements, right? So therefore you can see it as pink, right? So it is the same with our bodies, right? We can call various kinds of people with various kinds of names, right? So so there is one person called John. There's another person called so James, right? So like that, Anna, right? Peter, like that. So we give names to various kinds of people, and we give names to various kinds of things, and we think they are permanently existing. But the truth is, so they are all those things are a combination of, so they have risen, so they are a combination of so those attakalapas, attempts. So all those things, they are in the process of constant arising and passing. But whenever we observe so them from outside, and then we take them as one particular thing, right? Then what happens is we we react to them with that misunderstanding. So you develop so uh, so you develop a perspective so which you call my perspective, not the perspective of the nature, right? Then it is bound to go towards two ways. One way is, if you like it, if that particular object or being so goes according to your perspectives, you like it, and there arises craving. And then so if it doesn't go according to your way, there arises aversion, anger, hatred, jealousy, like that. You develop such kind of negativities. But whenever through your own practice, when you realize, so not because of the Buddha's practice, right? Through your own vipassana meditation practice, when you realize that so all these beings, all these things, right, are so things that have arisen because of the nature, phenomena in the nature. So your whole perspective changes, right? For an example, so if we take a being, right? I told you that the being is a so combination of 5 aggregates, right? So there are 5 aggregates in a being, right? So so if you want, you can write these things down. First one is the form. The form. So this particular body that we can see, that we can touch, it is called as the form. So it is made of atoms or attakalapas. Right? So this form is in the process of constant arising and passing away. Right? Can you understand? Okay. Then so various kinds of forms so arise on this body, right? Certain whatever the forms that arise on our body, they arise because of 4 reasons. First one is because of our karmas. Second reason is because of the mindsets that we have. Right? Certain forms arise so because of the mindsets that we have. If we have calmness, so you can see when you observe that person, you can see that person as a calm person, right? If someone is angry, so then so you observe that person and understand, oh, this person is angry right now. So how so we recognize them like that, because so the mindset, it also impacts, right? And it also generates so certain kind of forms, right? It impacts the form too. And forms arise so because of seasons too, right? So during the winter time, so you feel cold because at that time, so because of the outside nature, the forms that so inside us, they changes, and then we feel cold. So during the summertime, we feel heat. Why? So there are so many heat elements outside, they impact our body, and then they generate so heat forms, right? So then because of that, so then because of seasons too, right? So we generate various kinds of forms with it, right? And fourth one is so food that we take in. So because of the food that we take in, so it also impacts this form. It also generates various kinds of forms within. For an example, let's say you eat spicy food. At that time, the way that you feel the body is different. You feel a lot of burning sensation within, because inside the forms get impacted, and then so it develops. So the body develops various kinds of atoms, which has the main quality of spiciness, burning sensation, right? So when you eat sweets, so I mean candies, at that time, so that food generates different kind of forms, right? So within, so then now you can understand. So because of these four ways, right, forms arise inside us, and uh, then you have to understand. So so various kinds of forms so arise inside us. So but somehow overall, so this whole form, it is it is consisted of so atoms, or according to Buddha's word, atta kalapas. Atta kalapas. And Buddha has described about 28 kinds of forms, but I'm not going to give those descriptions. Just understand. So Buddha has described about various kinds of 28 forms, right? And then, so that is, so um, when we so see the body, we think the body is the biggest thing, but the body is not the biggest organ of a being. It is the smallest organ of the being. So smallest aggregate of the being. Then the second aggregate is so sensations or feelings, right? So to generate feelings, sensations, we need the body, but it's a totally different aggregate, totally different field, right? So there are three kinds of feelings that you feel. First one is comfortable, second one is uncomfortable, third one is neutral. So according to situations, so these three kinds of feelings, these three kinds of sensations arise and pass away constantly, right? They arise and pass away constantly. Third aggregate is the perceptions, right? Perceptions. So when you felt something, so when you touch your body form, then you feel the sensations. Then you perceive those sensations, right? For an example, so not only by touching your body, so but also observing the outside, right? So whenever you see a picture, when I see the clock, so perception tells me that's a clock, right? So when I hear a sound, right? So then, so if there is a bird sound, so when I hear it, so I recognize, my perception recognizes, oh, that's a bird sound, right? But it is not good or bad, so it's neutral, right? Then after that, so that's the third one. So when it comes to perceptions, it is heavily impacted by our own karmas too. For an example, so when it comes to seeing, so it is karmically it's different from being to being, right? So two human beings, two animals, they cannot see things equally, right? So it is heavily impacted by our karmas. So when it comes to so the ability of hearing, the ability of sensing the smells, so the ability of tasting things, so ability of feeling things physically, so all those things are heavily impacted by our past karmas too. Somehow, So there are 6 perceptions that arise, right? Because of the sights, perceptions arise. Because of sounds, perceptions arise. Because of the smells, perceptions arise. Because of the taste, perceptions arise. Because of the touches, perceptions arise. And when you remember the past incidents, perceptions arise. So they are called as mental object perceptions. Right? Like that. So perceptions arise. And this is the third aggregate of a being. It's a totally different field, totally different aggregate. So then fourth one is sankhara or mental formations. That is the fourth aggregate of a being. So after recognizing the object, so if you see banana, so seeing the banana, if you felt like I want to eat it, it happens because of the mental formations. Right? I don't like that. I can't see him. So I'm angry with her. Like that, if you felt something, that happens because of the mental formations. Right? That is a totally different feel, and it is threefold. So mental formations arise because of the body, because of the words, and because of the mind. Right? So this is a totally different field. And finally, fifth one, consciousness. Consciousness is the fifth one. So consciousness is so if we have a sense of awareness, that's called as consciousness. Consciousness changes according to situations. If you are dealing with the eyes, at that time, consciousness is only working with the eyes. At that time, I think I described you when I was teaching about Vipassana meditation, right? So when you see, you can't hear, you can't taste, you can't smell, right? You can't feel the touch. All those five senses are inactive when your eyes, when the seeing is happening. Because at that time, consciousness changes into eye consciousness. Right? When you are hearing a sound at that time, so eye consciousness, so you cannot see, you cannot taste, you cannot feel, or you cannot do any such kind of thing. You only you only hear at that time, right? But consciousness can change super fast, and we don't have any speed to describe the speed of its changing, right? So that's why when you sit in front of a TV, and when you watch some kind of a teledrama, right? So when you watch some kind of teledrama, and while at that very time you are eating some popcorn, right? So at that time you think, oh, I am seeing and I am hearing the sound and I am tasting the popcorn at the very same time. No, you only, when you see, the other two are, so you don't experience the other two. When you hear, you don't see the pictures, you don't feel the taste of your popcorn. And when you taste your popcorn, at that time you don't hear or you don't see. Right? For once, the consciousness can get together with only one sense. That is the reality. So then this nature of awareness is called as consciousness. So these five things are the things. So they are called as the five aggregates. The combination of these five aggregates are called as the being, existence of a being. And all of them are in a constant nature of arising and passing away. Constant nature of arising and passing away. You might have theoretically understood what's going on, but experiencing and theoretically understanding are two things. That's why even after understanding theoretical things, so there are certain people who have even PhDs about these, maybe Buddhist teachings, but still, see, until they don't experience these things from meditation, they don't come out of dissatisfaction. Why? Because since they don't experience this constant nature of impermanence in those five aggregates, they are bound to think about everything as I, my, mine. Right? Their perspective is like that. They don't see those things as the things which arise because of the nature, natural phenomenon. And then what happens? So, whatever things that come into the experience of five senses, so it will have, so not the perspective of nature, your perspective, right? Then after that, so you will react to them in two ways. So either with craving or either with aversion. And until you experience the nature of changing, so nature of impermanence with your own practice, right? Your this perspective won't change. And then until it doesn't change, craving continues. Until craving continues, right? Until craving continues, dissatisfaction knows who will follow. Because you wish things to be in a particular way, but the world goes according to another way. Right? Nature's way is different, your expectation is different. Right? Then, whenever you whenever you practice vipassana meditation, you start to see the things as they actually are. And then what happens is your misconceptions go away. And when you understand the things about the world as they actually are, then what happens is your craving also begins to go away. You don't expect things to be according to a particular way. You let the things to go with the nature as it is. You do what you can do. You don't, if you cannot do anything, you let the river to flow. And you live with. So then gradually what happens is dissatisfaction goes away. And then inside you, so they are built the eternal peace and eternal happiness, which won't shake because of anything. Right? Then after that, so such kind of people so decide to do three things. Whatever it happens, I will only do good things. I won't do anything harmful for anybody. So that's one determination that person develops. And then second one is, whatever the negativities that I have, I will come out of them. I will maintain the positivities. So that's the second thing that person develops with it. And third thing is developing this noble dharma, non-sectarian pure dharma. So that person determines to come out of all the negativities and so live a life with eternal peace and eternal happiness. Nibbana, right? That's where everything ends. So hope it's if you have any question, please let me know. It's a deeper description, but it's about reality. It's the reality which belongs to all the beings. So if you have any question, please let me know. So somehow, so then eradicating all the dissatisfaction. So you are trying to develop, develop the inner peace and inner happiness through this practice, right? Right. Then in the next week we are going to learn about the third characteristic of life, right? So no soulness. So let's learn about in the next week. Right now, everyone, please think together. All of us gathered here. So pay respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and practice this noble non-sectarian meditation technique. By the power of all the positive energy that we accumulated, please think, may all our troubles be away, may all the good things happen in our lives. Practicing this noble Dhamma, finally may all of us attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana. Please join your palms together and concentrate for blessings. Abhivadana senisehe nityang vada pachaino Chataro dhamma vadante ayuvangno sukang malang ayunarogya sangpatti sagga sangmatti me vache ato nimmana sangpatti iminati samijjitu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good night to everyone. So take rest and see you again in the next week. Good night to everyone. May all the good happen to you.
Thank you, Banteji.
Sukhi. Good night, Mr. Balaji.
Good night, Bande.
Good night. Good night, Miss Rita.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, Mr. Howard.
Good night, Bante. Thank you so much.
Maybe.
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes. Good night, Mrs. Nalini.
Good night, Bante.
Good night,
you.
Mrs. Lees. Mrs. Lees, good night.